morning, Rangers. Good morning, Rangers. All right, if y'all know me, you know we got to get loud and got to get excited right at the beginning. Good morning, Rangers. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause. Let's get loud this morning. I've been up all night drinking energy drinks, excited about this morning. I'm ready to go, and I hope that you are as well. Or it could be because we have 3 children under 5. I don't know why I've been up all night, but one of the two is why we are here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Willie Jude II, and I humbly serve as the Vice Chancellor for University Advancement and Alumni Relations. And we're excited to welcome you to the Fall 2022 Convocation at the University of Wisconsin, Parkside. Give yourself a round of applause. And so before we begin, as it is a practice at an official university event, we will acknowledge the history of the 12 First Nations of Wisconsin. We, the community of the University of Wisconsin Parkside, acknowledge with gratitude and humility the First Nations people of Wisconsin, whose original homelands lie within the state. We especially wish to recognize the Ho-Chunk, Miami, and Potawatomi nations for their significant historical and spiritual connections with the Parkside area. Our footsteps do not replace theirs, but rest alongside them. Today, Wisconsin is home to 12 First Nations communities: the Ho-Chunk Nation, the Oneida Nation of Wisconsin, the Menominee Nation, the Forest County Potawatomi Community, the Stockbridge Munsee Band of the Mohicans, the Brothertown Indian Nation, the Six Lakes Superior Bands of the Ojibwe Nation, the Bad River, the Lakota, Lac Du, Flambeau, Mole Lake, Sokeagon, Red Cliff, and St. Croix bands. The University of Wisconsin Parkside acknowledges and honors this history and these nations. Now, we are excited to be back in person. Repeat after me, say in person. Say, it's been so long. Say, it's been too long. This is the first time it's been reported to me that we have had convocation since August of 2019. So it's great to be back together in person and using our technology via live stream. It's been an interesting, I wouldn't say, some say crazy, but it's been an interesting few years, right? 3 years ago, 2019, things changed. And we all collectively experienced a lot. All of our lives have been changed forever, right? So being back here really is something special. We are here today. We are here today with an ability to change lives, with the ability to work together collectively to make an impact for our students, for our communities, and ultimately change the world. And so for that, I want to show gratitude to each of you and just say thank you. Thank you for your dedication and commitment. Thank you for your personal commitment and dedication in your personal lives, right? Because when we walk outside of Parkside, we're accountable to a lot of people and to a lot of communities. And I'm grateful to work alongside and work with each of you and come back together as we kick off this academic year with hope, with gratitude, and with a renewed energy of what we really can do and who we can be. For example, together, we graduated the highest number record graduates in university history. Give yourselves a round of applause. And so that is our goal. That is why we're here. We get to do some amazing things. As people have heard me say before, I love college so much that I never left. And so working on a college environment is really having the ability to influence and shape lives. Each one of us are leaders, right? If you're a leader, raise your hand. It should be everybody's hand raised. So as a leader, leadership is a process. Peter Nordhaus would say leadership is a process by which individuals influence followers towards a common goal. Todd Bolzinger would say, leadership is a process where you energize your followers to have their own personal transformation, so then we can truly transform together. But I really love Kim Blanchard's quote that says, leadership is not about authority, it's about influence. And so each one of you are influencers in your respective areas, and collectively look at the amount of influence that we can have, not only changing lives, but changing the community. So I say thank you again. It's good to see you all. I began last year. I started virtually, and then I arrived in May, and it was not this many people on campus. And so as a person who's energized by people, it is great to see you this morning, and we're excited to have a wonderful program and convocation for you. So before we move forward, we want to show gratitude, and there's a lot of people who we like to thank today that helped bring this program together. So first, let's take a moment to say thank you to our dining services partner, Aladdin, for this delicious breakfast. Can you give them a round of applause? I hope the eggs were amazing. I've been hearing about eggs for quite some time. So a big round of applause to John Nichols and his team. John, thank you. I saw Ellen, I see Chelsea, and everyone. Thank you for the big breakfast. A special shout out. Is Dennis Casey in the room? Dennis Casey, stand up. Everybody give a round of applause for my man, Dennis Casey. Thank you, Dennis, to you and your team for making sure that the room was set up and all the logistics were taken care of and convocation run smoothly. Thank you again to Dennis Casey and the Student Center team. And Dennis Casey gives good hugs too, by the way, but that's just a Willie thing. Okay. Also, we'd like to give a special thank you to the Student Center, Creative Services, Marketing, Communication, Parkside Athletics, University Advancement, the Office of the Chancellor for making this event something special and that we look forward to every year. And Rachel Stevenson, can Rachel stand up as well? Give Rachel stand up. I know you don't, Rachel does not like speaking or public. She's really behind the scenes. Rachel joined us this summer and jumped right in planning convocation all the way, so we are appreciative for your leadership. And thank you also to Alvaro Garcia, Alvaro and the digital media production team for making this live stream possible. Alvaro and the team, Alvaro's in the back, Dean Walker, Arts and Humanities. I see Edson over there. Again, thank you for your hard work and dedication to make convocation successful. Each time we do this, we have special guests who take time out of their schedules to show support for UW Parkside, and we want to acknowledge them this morning as well. So first, we also would like to thank members from the Foundation Board and members of the Community Advisory Boards. If you're here, please stand and be recognized. All right. Well, thank you again. And they may be online, so thank you for your work to support student success and increase access to higher education. We'd like to say a special thank you to all of our governance leaders. Thank you for your dedication and support at UW Parkside and for being advocates for your colleagues and also for your individual colleges. Can we give a round of applause for them if they are joining us online as well? We are also pleased to have a number of elected officials join us today. We have Representative Tip McGuire. Could you stand up, raise your hand, Tip McGuire. We have State Senator and UW Parkside alum, Bob Wirch. Bob Wirch. And then we also have from the Office of the U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin, please welcome Christopher Bogan. Thank you again for the important work that you do within our communities and our great state of Wisconsin. And thank you for being great advocates for UW Parkside. And also in your program today are a few faculty and staff who have joined the UW Parkside family since the start of 2022. So would all of our new faculty and staff please stand and let's give them a warm Parkside Ranger welcome. I've definitely had the privilege to meet a few of you and look forward to meeting all of you. And we look forward to getting to know you and just thank you for bringing your expertise and bringing your perspective to our learning community. It's great to see new family enter into our ranks, and we want to make sure that we support you so that you can play to your strengths and be the best Ranger that you can be. There are so many good things happening in Parkside. And one thing that we've been able to do recently is called the Parkside Pivot. Now, this was in place prior to my arrival, but I have been an early adopter of the Parkside Pivot. And so instead of challenges, we call them opportunities. And regardless of what's happened, we have a team of leaders, each of you who are committed to ensuring that we are able to work together, face the challenges, and move forward. So we've had a few technical issues, but we were able to make it happen. So unfortunately, the awards of the awardees slides will not be on the screen today, but we have the award winners with us today, so they will be able to walk through the stage. So please forgive us and work with us. Diverse perspectives and insight are valued at UW Parkside, and nothing reflects that more than our annual Faculty and Staff Awards. At this time, well, actually, please forgive me, I have to ask for grace. Our faculty and staff awardees honor their colleagues for their research and creativity, their excellence in the classroom, and exemplary service to our students, our university, and our community. We have 2 new awards this year that represent excellence early in the careers of our faculty as well. So to present our faculty and staff awards, please welcome members of the Chancellor's Cabinet. To start today's awards, welcome UW Parkside Associate Vice Chancellor. Now, y'all ready for this? You got to say this with Associate Vice Chancellor for Human Resources and Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, Dr. Sharonda Glass.
Thank you, Willie. I think that this is the best part of the program because I love giving awards second to giving money. So just so you know that. So the University Staff Distinguished Service Award recognizes dedication and commitment to our learning community. Today we have 2 honorees. Please welcome our first University Staff Distinguished Service Award recipient from our OMSA team, April Purrier. Please come to the stage. We love April. April is a warm and friendly and familiar face, not only to our students, but to everyone on campus. She has taken on administrative responsibilities in student engagement and connection on top of her already busy role as a program associate for OMSA. She plays a key role in helping students on campus by making sure they know where to go, how to get to events, or simply being a listening ear. She also assists with special multicultural campus events while also providing a welcoming attitude. April is also a proud UW Parkside alum. Congratulations, April. Our second University Staff Distinguished Service Award recipient is Janine Chevarati. Hi, Janine. Okay. Janine Chavarani has been a UW Parkside employee for 13 years. Her co-workers describe her as someone who exemplifies positivity with an immense desire to serve students. Janine has mastered the transfer student realm in admission and has trained over half of the operations staff. She was also the key organizer of the Parkside Admissions Summer Olympics. She appreciates the satisfaction of being a positive impact on students' lives firsthand, a fact made evident by her proudest accomplishments. Her 2 daughters are both Parkside graduates. Congratulations, Janine. The Academic Staff Distinguished Award, Service Award, recognizing outstanding service to the university, goes to Oliver Johnson. Yay, Oliver! Well, I don't need to tell you because it's obvious that Oliver is a beloved member of UW Parkside's University Relations team, having served as marketing coordinator for the College of Arts and Humanities, Professional and Continuing Education, and many student-serving areas. Prior to working at Parkside, Oliver led a nonprofit arts organization and co-owned a cafe and gallery that provided opportunities to emerging artists and formerly incarcerated individuals. Although he is leaving the university, I know. I was gonna.
He started at Parkside and got all the right skills so he could get.
He did. I was going to take that line out, but I couldn't. He wishes to thank the people at Parkside who make it a special place to learn and to serve. Oliver is many things to Parkside: a patron, donor, advocate, and alumnus. He is and will always be a Ranger. Congratulations, Oliver. Please join me in giving another round of applause to all of our award winners. Next to the stage, we have Dr. Gary Wood to present more awards. Dr. Wood.
Thanks, Sharonda. It's great to be back doing this in person again. It's wonderful to see you all out there, and hello to everybody who's joining us virtually. The Faculty Distinguished Service Award recognizes a faculty member who has made impressive contributions toward departmental service, is linked to university service and shared governance, and has worked to advance the mission of the university. The 2021-2022 Faculty Distinguished Service Award recipient is Communication Professor Teresa Castor. And I'm happy that somebody else wrote this, because if I were going to talk about Teresa, it would take a long time. Dr. Teresa Castor is a professor of communication at UW Parkside. She teaches courses in organizational communication, professional communication, health communication, among others. Teresa's work has been published in many journals and edited collections. In addition to receiving the 2021 UW Parkside Excellence in Research and Creative Activity Award, she also received the 2019 Community Engaged Learning and Research Award and has received numerous awards for her research through the International Communication Association. She is a member of the inaugural group of the National Society for Experiential Education Fellows and a member of the Communication Department, which recently received the UW System Regents Teaching Excellence Award. Congratulations, Teresa. Our next award, the Excellence in Advising Award, recognizes a member of the faculty or staff who helps UW Parkside students succeed by providing relevant academic advising and often more personal direction. The 2022 Advising Excellence Award recipient is Katie Abbott Davis. Katie Abbott Davis is a proud alumna of UW Parkside who has returned to her alma mater as an advisor for the College of Arts and Humanities. Katie earned a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology and a Bachelor of Arts degree in English. Not just a double major, a dual degree means at least 150 credits, right? She loves working with students to help build and support their paths to success and supports and connects with alumni as the Vice President for the Parkside Employee Alumni Group. Katie and her wife have rescued over 50 dogs in the past 2 years through their rescue work. And are looking forward to even more. Congratulations, Katie. And now, please welcome to the podium Provost Rob Dukoff, who will present the next awards.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Gary. I have 2 new awards to present and thank the University Committee for suggesting them. These are 2 early career awards for faculty in their first 5 years of employment at UW Parkside. The first one is the Early Career Excellence in Research and Creativity Award. And Meredith is an assistant professor of psychology. She teaches courses in developmental psychology, introductory psychology, and statistics. Her area of expertise include pro-social behavior, parenting, I could have used some advice there, culture, advanced quantitative methods, I don't know about you, but that scares me, and social and emotional development. Meredith has published 12 journal articles and was the first author on 6 of these publications. She was invited to discuss her research at the 2019 Moral Development Pre-Conference, and her work has also been featured in various media articles. Meredith also serves as an associate editor at Psychological Reports and on the editorial review boards at several other well-known journals. Congratulations, Meredith. Our next award is the Early Career Excellence in Teaching Award, which also recognizes a UW Parkside faculty member within their first 5 years of service. And the first winner of this award is Dr. Meeta Banerjee. This award is based on student nominations, focusing on an instructor's ability to support and inspire and help students learn. It also recognizes impact that professors have on students, as represented in the student nominations and any supporting materials. One of Meeta's students said, "She was a tremendous inspiration to me. She gave schoolwork a purpose through her classes. Though her classes are challenging, her courses are both stimulate as well as challenge you." Meeta is an assistant professor of sociology. She teaches courses in social inequality, public health, the sociology of education, statistics and research methods at the undergraduate level, as well as data visualization courses at the master's level. Her current research focuses on factors that affect whether underserved and underrepresented students choose online courses. Meeta is also the academic director of the Sociology Online Degree Completion Program. Congratulations, Meeta. Thanks, everybody. Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage my colleague, Jordania Leon Jordan.
Thank you, Provost Dukov. Let me fix this a bit. This year's Community Engaged Learning and Research Award recipient, exemplifying outstanding initiative and achievement in connecting campus resources to community organizations and business partners, is Penny Leider.
I'm not the only one with a thing. Did you notice April? Yeah.
There is a trend, I guess. Dr. Penny Leider has been not only a committed practitioner of community engaged learning and research throughout her career, but also a leader and advocate for the growth and expansion of community-based experiential learning at UW Parkside. She led her department in embedding required fieldwork and personally supervised over 250 students in these experiences. She designed and developed partnerships for 4 community-based learning courses, which engaged thousands of students. She also created long-standing partnerships with community organizations. Congratulations, Penny. The Excellence in Research and Creative Activity Award recognizes faculty members for the scholarship portion of their mission here at UW Parkside. This year, we're honoring Hom Henry Kendall. Dr. Hom Henry Kendall is an associate professor of physics and the director of Applied Physics Laboratory at UW Parkside. He previously served as a research scientist at the National High Magnetic Field Laboratory. He has taught physics, mathematics, and computer science courses for over 20 years. Kendall has mentored many students, peer-reviewed journal articles, and grant proposals, and serves as the faculty advisor to the Parkside Journal of Science. He's an active member of the American Physical Society and is involved in educational outreach in the Kenosha and Racine communities. Congratulations, Dr. Kendall. To present the next awards, we have Jeanette Elie, our Executive Director of University Relations.
Thank you, Jordania. I have the pleasure of presenting this award. I'll tell you a little bit about the Stella Gray Award. The legacy of Stella Gray, as an amazing professor and educator lives on in the Stella C. Gray Teaching Excellence Award. The composition of the Stella Gray Teaching Award Review Committee includes 4 members of faculty and academic staff who are past Stella Gray Award winners, 4 students appointed by the Parkside Student Government Association, and a non-voting academic administrator. Given it is a student-nominated award, it is also significant that half of the voices on the committee are students. Faculty members must be composed of past award winners. Nominations for this award come from our students. The nominations are then reviewed, and the final selections are made by faculty. That in itself tells you why this award is so coveted and highly respected. The first Stella C. Gray Teaching Excellence Award recipient is MFA Professor and our colleague, Lisa Marie Barber. Known for her infectious smile and her sunny personality, who doesn't love Lisa Marie? Lisa Marie Barber loves teaching. For her, it's never been just about having a job that pays the bills. It's part 2 of who she is. A full professor in the Department of Art and Design, Lisa has taught a wide variety of courses. She created, researched, and launched a new general education diversity course. She also serves as the Liberal Studies Program Director, Academic Director for the UW Collaborative Online Associate of Arts and Sciences, the College of Arts and Humanities Community Arts Liaison, and Chair of the Committee on Academic Planning. Please join me in giving Lisa a round of applause. Thank you. Oh, I forgot David Hicks. Sorry about that. Listen, I'm just so happy to get off the stage and get the attention off of myself. I forgot. Okay. Sorry about that. Our next Stella C. Gray Teaching Excellence Award recipient and our final award honoree this morning is Dr. David Higgs, a professor. Sorry. Dr. Higgs is a professor of bioscience in our Biological Sciences Department. David Higgs is a full professor in the Department of Biological Sciences, where he has been a faculty member for 23 years, including 6 as a department chair. He has taught a wide range of courses, ranging from a science general education course to graduate level Masters of Science courses. He is an advocate for student involvement in research and creative activities and works collaboratively with undergraduate and graduate students in his laboratory. He also supports and encourages students to attend and present at local, state, and national student conferences. Please join me in giving a round of applause to Dr. David Higgs. Congratulations.
The suspense is great, isn't it? The pages turn. Okay. So friends and colleagues, that concludes our faculty and staff awards. You can read more about each of our recipients at the UW Parkside website, uwp.edu/convocation. So once again, let's congratulate this entire amazing group of 21, 22 honorees. I think it could be a little bit louder. Congratulations again. This is amazing to see our peers honored and recognized for the great work that we do. A lot of what we do goes unseen. You know, there's a lot of things that we do, you know, not for the accolades, but because of the love of the profession and really desiring to impact lives. And for that, I am grateful to you as well. So I want everybody to stand up. Everybody stand up. Well, Lisa Marie, Miss April, you don't have to stand. Penny Lighter, I'm sorry, Penny. I was thinking about, did you see Lisa had the Mandela jersey, and she always has fresh shoes, so I'm always trying to see what shoes Lisa Marie Barber has on. And so, as you know, in the middle of a program, when she starts eating, food starts settling, you're starting to get a little tired, right? So we're gonna stand up because now the awards are really exciting, and we're gonna transition to a few slides from our cabinet to have updates of what's been happening across the campus. So before that, we just wanna get a little bit of crowd participation. I'm gonna tap into my spirit of athletics and student leaders, student orientation, right? They do an amazing job of getting everybody yelling at 8 o'clock in the morning. Isn't that right, Caitlin Dobson? Mike, you get everybody, okay, so on this side, I want you to yell green, and on this side, I want you to yell black, right? How is it white? Isn't it black? It's not black? Do you not know? Okay, so we're gonna do this. Hey, leadership, we got to compromise. We're going to say green and white and green and black. So we're going to start with green and white. Then we're going to say green and black, all right? Here we go. On this side, yell green. Green, white, green, white, green, white, green, white. I've always wanted to direct a choir. Thank you for helping me live out one of my passions. Now we're gonna go green and black, ready? We're doing it all. Green, black, green, black, green, black. All right, now the last one. Go Rangers. We all agree on that, Caitlin Dobson? Go Rangers, let's get loud on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, you can sit down now. Great job. Thank you again. I love to hear the excitement. We love to hear the participation. We always want to make sure we're able to break up some of these long convocation ceremonies. But now, as we move into the next presentation of all of the areas, I bring back to the podium our Associate Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sharonda Glass.
Okay, good morning again. Awesome. So I want to kick off this portion of our program this morning by acknowledging our commitment to being the best place to work in southeastern Wisconsin. Go Rangers! We want to be the best place to work. And so with that, I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge all the wonderful work, time, and effort that employees have provided and given over the past couple of years. I know at times it wasn't easy, but you all never gave up. You never forgot the mission of the university. You persevered and continued to provide a meaningful student experience, and that could not happen without human resources. So I want to take the opportunity to share some information, important information that you'll see up on the slides. As we were plagued with COVID for the last couple of years and still are, and we were in a competitive employment environment and market, I am pleased to say that we continue to make progress toward recruiting a faculty and staff that is reflective of the students that we serve. This speaks to the commitment that the university has toward justice, equity, diversity, inclusion, and belonging. You will hear more about those efforts later in the program, but I thought it was really important for us to acknowledge and for you to see what the makeup of our university looks like. We are making progress, and I'm hoping to continue to do so as we hear from faculty, students, and staff all the time that they want to see a university that is reflective of southeastern Wisconsin. Next slide. While recruitment is vitally important, retention is equally important. We have to make sure that once we get individuals to join Parkside, and we most certainly have an amazing group of individuals that have just joined us recently, as you will see in the program, we must work to ensure that we are providing a culture and climate that is not only diverse, but inclusive and welcoming. Please know that Human Resources, as well as the Office of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, want to hear from you if you are experiencing any situations that make you feel uncomfortable or unwelcome. We can't fix something we don't know about, and our door is always open. The administration is available for you. You may report anonymously, or you most certainly can set up a time to meet with a team member. Moreover, I also want to take this opportunity to remind you of a very important resource that is available to all benefit-eligible employees. We are living in difficult and different times. Students are returning to campus. Faculty and staff are returning to campus, and it's not easy to navigate the pressures of work, life, and society. And we are depending on all of you to make sure that our students have a great experience. So with that said, please know that the Employee Assistance Program, which is called KEPRO, is available to help you navigate any personal or professional issues that you may face. The resource is free and anonymous. If you have any questions or need help accessing the resource, please do not hesitate to reach out to Human Resources. That's what we're there for. They are absolutely amazing. If you've never used that resource and you really need support and help, please contact KEPRO. Next slide. I want to close this portion of the program by sharing some things that demonstrate our commitment to a best place to work. As you may recall, during COVID, or prior to COVID, the Cabinet adopted a volunteer policy. The policy allows employees up to 2 hours per week. The other day I said per day. I thought the Cabinet was going to have a heart attack. I almost had a heart attack, but it's per week to volunteer. There are some amazing opportunities for employees in the community, and I have listed a few on the slides. But please consider working with youth this year, as schools desperately need volunteers and mentors. Our schools are really suffering. Going into COVID and coming out, our teachers are really faced with a lot of issues, and students need us. They depend on us. They look for us. I volunteered prior to COVID. I had 2 students, and they were waiting at that door for me every time that I showed up, and it was an amazing experience. And so please consider doing that this year. You can watch for additional information coming out in the HR newsletter, as well as the Wednesday Weekly for additional information. Also, I want to quickly plug Save the Date for the Benefits and Wellness Fair on September 26th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here in the ballroom. We have some amazing wellness events planned, and for all you competitive folks, we definitely have some competitions. We want you all to get involved, focus on well-being. It's really important that you be your best when you're trying to serve others in this environment. So we really want you to take advantage of all the amazing wellness activities that we have planned for you. And again, you will hear more information about that. And finally, I want to give a shout out to the employee engagement team. And so if they can stand so you can see all these amazing people who have worked to plan amazing employee engagement events. Omar, Isaac, Julie, Laura, Gia, Kim, Christina, Laura, and Delinda. Please stand. This is your employee engagement team. So even during COVID, this team was relentless. Delinda is the biggest cheerleader that you ever want to have on your team, and she's absolutely amazing. But they did quite a bit this last year, and they have a lot more planned for you this year. COVID did not damper our efforts. They have beer garden activities planned for next week or tomorrow. So please make sure you check that out. So I will close this portion by sharing a few highlights of events so you can all see that we never gave up and we never stopped over the last couple of years of making sure that you all felt included and belonged here at Parkside. So I wanted to share some pictures of you of the events and people that have participated in some of the events, and we hope to see you in the upcoming months involved in some of these activities. So as you can see, we had an amazing time over the last couple of years, and we hope to see more faces in the videos. It is now my pleasure to welcome Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs and Enrollment Services, Dr. Tammy McGee.
Good morning, everyone. So before I get started, I just want to, I don't necessarily keep track of things, but I did this morning. 5 out of the 11 awardees are either current or former Student Affairs and Enrollment Services staff members. So congratulations again to April, Janine, Oliver, Katie, and Mita. So congratulations. So next slide. Yeah, not a competition, just thought I'd mention. And most of those other awards were faculty awards, just saying. So like the slide says, what a year it's been. There's so much that we could talk about that has gone on over the past 12 months, and I could take the next 20 minutes, but don't worry, Chancellor, I won't. It's hard to believe, that it's been a year since we moved into the renovated space in Wiley Hall. I thought we should start by taking a quick look back at the amazing transformation. So here are the before, during, and after pictures. The dark, dingy hallways and siloed offices are a thing of the past. The new open floor plan and abundant natural light has created a space that is both functional and inviting for students and staff. And we can't wait for the students to return to the Commons. Next slide, please. A number of new initiatives started last year and will continue to have positive impacts on student success. Last October, we were awarded a 5-year, $1.8 million Title III grant to establish a success coaching program. 4 success coaches were hired late in the spring semester. The team, pictured here and sitting over here, will work with new first-year and transfer students during their first year on campus. Additionally, we received an amazing gift from the Callahan family, supporting a 5th success coach who works with our 40 Callahan scholars, each of whom receive an annual $5,000 scholarship. During the inaugural year of the Callahan Scholars Program, the scholars participated in 455 one-on-one coaching sessions and provided 825 hours of service during 66 volunteer events. We can't wait to see what the Callahan Scholars do in the upcoming year. We're going to hear from one of the scholars in just a moment. In the realm of technology, we transitioned from DARS to the AAR for student degree audits. We continued to expand our use of EAB's Navigate platform for advising support, student communications, progress reports, and data analytics. And we implemented Academic Planner, a degree planning and course registration tool as part of our work with the Moonshot for Equity project. And just yesterday, training was held for department chairs on the new curriculum management tool known as KIM. Moving right along, let's take just a moment to acknowledge all things COVID. Testing, quarantine, isolation, meal deliveries, faculty notifications, PPE, and vaccinations. Everyone had a role, some larger than others, and thanks to all who kept us moving in the right direction. Here's to hoping that COVID doesn't take up as much time this year. Finally, as we start the new academic year, a few updates. We've combined the Student Activities and Engagement Office with new student orientation and first-year programs to form the Office of Student Engagement and Connections under the leadership of Caitlin Dobson. Luis Benevogliente will oversee the Office of Multicultural Student Affairs, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, and the LGBTQ Resource Center. We're currently in the process of hiring our LGBTQ specialists. So again, congratulations to Luis on that new responsibility. And our students will benefit from 2 UW system-supported initiatives, a foster youth support program, which thanks to Christina Clemens and folks in the financial aid office, we put together a proposal, very last minute, that is going to provide us $50,000 recurring to support foster youth in their careers here at Parkside, to provide them with supplies and with activities that'll bring them together and make them feel like they belong here at Parkside. Initially, yeah. You guys are into clapping today. This is wonderful. Additionally, UW System is in the process of an RFP. Thank you, Lisa. We got the 2-minute notice out here going on as well. For a telemental health initiative, and this will provide additional telehealth support to our students across the system, as we know that many of our students are struggling and our staff are struggling with mental health and with anxiety and with stress of what's happened over the last few years. So you'll learn more about these two important projects over the next few months. So now let's take a moment to hear from one of our Callahan Scholars.
As part of UW Parkside's commitment to student success, we employ student success coaches to drive enrollment, support student retention, and increase graduation rates. One program that amplifies this approach is the Callahan Scholars Program.
The Callahan Scholars has had a great impact on my life. There are a lot of things that I value from it. One of the main things is being able to get involved with a lot more activities on campus, which I normally wouldn't do. And it's allowed me to meet a lot of new people.
Through a transformational gift, the Callahan family supports a program that pairs financial support with support services and a dedicated success coach. The program fosters a community and sense of belonging to help students with high financial need and students of color thrive and ultimately graduate. Of the 40 scholarships available each year, 10 are specifically designated for new freshmen. Callahan Scholars have bi-weekly appointments with their success coach, participate in campus engagement opportunities, complete 10 or more hours of local community service each semester, and are strongly encouraged to live on campus and participate in high-impact practices. As one scholar shares, Callahan Scholars has helped me stay more on top of my classes, pushed me to be my best, and made me more involved with the campus and outside community. It gives me a sense that someone actually cares about how I do in school and life and wants to see me succeed.
In conclusion, I wanted to share a few quotes from a book I'm currently reading, Higher Education on the Brink, Reimagining Strategic Enrollment Management in Colleges and Universities. I won't read the quotes to you, but the common theme revolves around how we must work to create an environment where students feel they belong and they are supported. Each and every one of us has a role to play, and every role is important. But I want to take this opportunity to recognize a number of student affairs and enrollment services staff members who work behind the scenes. They process the paperwork, maintain technology, care for our students when they are sick or struggling, provide a safe living environment, and coordinate campus events day and night. When I call your name, please stand to be recognized, and please hold your applause to the end. Jessica Cole, Marie Smith, Jamie Thomas, come on folks, I know I've seen a few of you, please stand. Dawn Sargent, Gino Gamino, Carol Kinsley, Jackie Sacco, Lisa Matson, Stephanie Enriquez, I know you're in the room, stand and remain standing. Sue Lemons, Linda Batista, Ian Privet, Tony Alley, Karen Baskin, Shawana Brown, Ashley Charney, Marcy Huffendick, Brandon Hutchins, Michelle Oak Sizzler, Terry Reisenhauer, Margaret Watts, Zach Bartell, Lisa Jacobs, Doug Elfrin, Rick Kortendick, Alex Hobbs, Sarah Masick, April Puryear, Carol Dalton, and last but not least, Jean Herpchek. Thank you all for indulging me in that. You hear about our directors, you hear about our wonderful recruitment coordinators and counselors and admissions and our advisors and our success coaches, but we don't always recognize the folks behind the scenes that support not only those staff members, but our students as well. So thank you very much for that. It's now my pleasure to welcome Vice Provost for Academic Affairs, Dr. Gary Wood.
Thank you, Tammy. I want to talk briefly about some of our student success initiatives, and there have been many of these. I'm only going to highlight a few because Chancellor Ford told us 2 slides, 5 minutes, and Lisa's there with the hook. So, as most of you know, I've been here for a long, long time, and there was never a time when the staff and the faculty at UW Parkside didn't care about the short-term success of our students and the longer-term success of our students, both in terms of getting them through individual classes and getting them through the door to graduation. But when we looked at numbers, you know, our graduation rates weren't great. Our retention rates weren't great. So really starting maybe 10, 12 years ago, we started taking some really deliberate steps to mount specific initiatives with specific goals and funding behind them to carry them out. And some of these were tied to our work with the organizations that you see listed there, the Higher Education Regional Alliance, which is the group of 17 higher ed institutions in the 7-county Milwaukee region with a shared goal of increasing degree attainment in our part of the state, and also with the Education Advisory Board through the Moonshot for Equity project. But all of them were tied back to our academic plan, this plan and effort that Provost Dukoff led back in 2017, which extended through 2022, and now we're finishing up the newer version of the academic plan. So these student success initiatives were included in that plan. And I can't talk about any of this without acknowledging my colleague, Deanne. I didn't tell her ahead of time. So Deanne Pacell has led all of this work, and none of it would have happened without her leadership. So thanks, Deanne. So just to highlight a few things, and I picked the ones that we can sort of attach some numbers to. 15 to Finish is a pretty simple initiative. It's really just sort of a marketing campaign for students to say, take 15 credits, not 12. And the goal here is, of course, to get people done in 4 years, right? 15 plus 15, and et cetera. And part of this is just simple arithmetic. If students are only taking 12 credits per term, they can't finish in 4 years. But there's a lot more to it than that. When you dig down into this data, students who take fewer than 15 credits per semester, they don't just take longer to graduate, they don't graduate. And so the credit accumulation and building momentum over the course of their time here is really important. And you can see the result that we've achieved there, comparing 2016 data to 2020 data. So 48% of students have now, thanks Lisa, 48% of students are now completing, not signing up for, but completing 30 credits in the first year. So that's a really significant accomplishment. Math pathways, there's a lot of detail in here that I don't have time to talk about, and with full acknowledgement that not everybody thought this was a great idea, and with full acknowledgement that we need to continue to monitor the progress of students, through their entire time here. The 2 basic things that we did, or the math department did, was to create alternatives to the standard college algebra class for students in programs that didn't require algebra, and to create alternatives to remedial math classes, which historically half of our students were required to take when they started here. Last year, 80% of all first-year students completed a required math class in their first year. And we know that success in the first year is one of the best predictors of retention to the second year and ultimate graduation. So this was a really important step. Those of you who are in classrooms have been asked over the past couple of years to use the new Navigate system to submit early alerts for students for attendance during the first week and for progress during week 4 or 5. The time you take to do that makes a difference. And one of the results is listed here. Students who had alerts registered and whose cases were resolved were retained from year 1 to year 2 at an 81% rate, which is compared to the low 70s for all other students. So the time you're taking to do that works, so thank you. Next slide, please. A couple of years ago, we started up a relationship with a company called Re-Up, which goes after students who have been stopped out for a year or more. Colleges and universities all around the country try to do this on their own, and they just can't. We don't have the capacity to do it on our own. It takes lots and lots and lots of communication. So over the 2 years that we've been engaged with Re-Up, 170 students have come back to us who had stopped out and have returned to UW Parkside. Tammy already talked about the success coaches. I won't talk about that. The last thing I'll talk about is the registration holds. This was part of the Moonshot for Equity project. Turns out that there were over 100, closer to 150 different reasons that we were not allowing students to register for the next term. And when we started asking the various units that put these holds on, why do you do that? They said, I don't know. It was something that we did 20 years ago, and it's still there. And so, again, with Deanne's assistance, 91 of those holds are now gone. So students who couldn't register can now. And while it will never be possible to point to any one of those things and say which one had the greatest effect, you can see the change in our 6-year graduation rate, 42% for the 2015 cohort, up from an historical average of 24%. So what we're doing is working. It's now my pleasure to reintroduce Provost Rob Dukoff.
I'll start by saying how proud I am of the progress that we're all making and how much I appreciate the efforts that each of you is making to deliver on the promise of a high-quality education at UW Parkside. I'll begin by mentioning a few accomplishments and then a few where we're continuing to make progress. In meetings with the Racine Unified School District, they like to classify these as glows and grows. Next slide, please. Oh, that's it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. First, as you've heard, UW Parkside continues to set historic records for the number of graduates and student success. You'll recall that the bold goal in our 2025 strategic framework is to increase the number of students that graduate from UW Parkside annually by 50% by 2025. We set this goal after graduating the largest class in our history in 2018 of 800 students and reached about 1,000 last year. We believe that graduating more well-educated students is the most important way to serve our region and strengthen our democracy, and we're about halfway to our goal. UW Parkside has increased the size of its graduating class by 25% beyond its historic record since 2018. Over the course of our history, as you've just heard Gary say, a bit over 24% of students who started as full-time freshmen graduated in 6 years. Now it's typically a bit over 40%, as Gary indicated. That's a 60% increase over the historic average. In recent years, we're at or close to setting graduation rate records for our undergraduates, including our students of color. And transfer students, tracked separately for reporting purposes, continue to make up about half of the students that graduate with bachelor's degrees each year. Next, because of growth, that's not next slide, but just next. Next, because of the growth in the number of master's students graduating from UW Parkside, we were reclassified as a medium master's college or university by the Carnegie classification system, which is the framework used for recognizing and describing institutional diversity in U.S. higher education. Separately, our master's population was recognized by the Chronicle for Higher Education as one of the 10 fastest growing in the nation among small colleges and universities. Next slide, please. Just this summer, and as a result of the successful efforts I've just described to you, UW-Parkside was recognized by the American Association of State Colleges and Universities, ASCU, as the winner of its 2022 Excellence and Innovation Award for Student Success and College Completion, the only institution in the United States receiving this particular recognition. Millie Garcia, the president of ASCU, wrote, quote, "Your improving student success at University of Wisconsin-Parkside was selected by the awards committee for its outstanding results and potential to influence and serve as a model for other institutions." By the way, UW-La Crosse is receiving a similar award from ASCU this year for their community engagement efforts. So 2 UW institutions are winning national recognitions that will be officially awarded this November in San Diego. By the way, when I read the description of what UW-La Crosse has been up to, I called Deborah Karp, as I believe will be in a very good position and a very serious candidate should we decide to apply for this award next year. Before I turn from our A+ grades to areas where we could use improvement, how about another round of applause? Of course, as always, right, we've got things to do. First, while our graduation rates have improved substantially, they are still well below the national average, which is about 60%. And the graduation for white students is still higher than those for Black and Latinx students. Improving student success and eliminating these equity gaps will continue to be our focus and why we joined the first regional public-private partnership consortium in the country with UW-Milwaukee, Carthage, and Milwaukee Area Technical College and EAB, called the Moonshot for Equity, to eliminate these equity gaps by 2030. Second, we have to figure out how to reverse undergraduate enrollment declines and breathe new life into the undergraduate experience for students we serve today. I think maybe Tammy hit on something really important in her slide about belonging. Our undergraduate program has been shrinking slowly since 1983. I will pull together a task force this fall to come up with a few big ideas to turn this around. I know we can, and I know that we must. Third, we've just come through probably, as you know, the 2 most challenging years in our history as educators, and so we need to take time to better understand how we're doing, how to better support the work we do and each other, and re-energize our campus community for the critical work that lies ahead. I recently heard a quote from President Harry Truman that I included in a short memo I sent out to you on Monday. And the quote is, short was a joke, but just thought I'd put that out there. If the ladder of educational opportunity rises high at the doors of some youth and scarcely at the doors of others, while at the same time formal education is made a prerequisite to occupational and social advance, then education may become the means, not of eliminating race and class distinctions, but of deepening and solidifying them. And that's why we'll continue to seek more equity, diversity, inclusivity, and justice at UW-Parkside and in our communities. A team led by Amber Handy, Deanne Purcell, and Trina Patterson are reviewing every aspect of the Academic and Student Affairs Plan and helping us set goals to ensure we focus every possible effort on making UW-Parkside a community that well supports all our students. Thank you, and go Rangers. It is now absolutely my pleasure to introduce and welcome to the podium Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration, Scott Mickey.
Thank you, Rob, and good morning, everyone. Our first slide shows a trend that we've been experiencing in our tuition revenue. but it does also show the diversification of our enrollment. Note, though, that on the left side of the graphic, it starts at 20 million. So you're only looking at the top of the very tops of the bars, which when you look at the year-over-year change, it's a little more dramatic, but it's a little bit easier to understand. The bottom section of the bars represent our more traditional enrollment, and as you can see, it has been declining. But fortunately, we have been focusing on diversifying our revenue and growing our more in-demand and online programs. So the enrollment diversification has really helped offset at least some of our loss on traditional enrollment. I also want to make a note that the new programs that have been growing the most have involved partners such as academic partners and the extended campus. On the next slide shows the continued substantial investment in UW Parkside facilities. Over $60 million has been committed to improving our facilities and capital projects. Wiley Hall, being the largest of these projects, has most directly impacted our students and their experience here at Parkside. Hopefully you've had the opportunity to look at or visit the DeSimone Arena. The changes are amazing. And yes, we are looking and planning another solar array on the east side of campus. The next slide takes a look forward over the next 6 years, and we are planning over $200 million of capital improvements on this campus. And 2 weeks ago, the Board of Regents approved this list of projects, along with the science labs that as our top priority at the top of this list is also the top priority for the instructional space across the entire UW system. It's their top priority. This budget, the next steps for this budget, though, is there's multiple levels of approval that are required at the state level, including the Department of Administration, Joint Finance Committee, and the governor. The next slide shows a summary of the proposed budget for the operations of the UW system. This is the entire UW system. It's been approved by the Board of Regents. It calls for a 4% increase in operating costs. It also includes for a 4% increase in each year of the biennium for pay plan. That includes applause. These requests, along with support for the Wisconsin tuition promise, totals approximately $263 million. And again, to get this budget approved, it's going to take multiple approvals at the state level. Now I'd like to have you welcome Andrew Gavin, our Director of Athletics.
Thank you, Scott. As I adjust to being a father of four and fast approach my 20-year high school reunion next weekend, I've decided that I'm the only cabinet member reading my notes off an iPhone because it's a desperate attempt to stay young and relevant to our student athletes. So first slide, please. Parkside Athletics, as many of you know, is proud to be Wisconsin's only Division II university. Many of you probably know we have roughly 250 student athletes, a little more these days with COVID, and 15 different sports. What you may not know is we normally represent about 30 different states and 10 different countries among our student athlete population. And I was thinking about that the other day and thought that I needed to share that with this group. We're proud of that diversity that we bring to campus. As Scott mentioned, we're really excited about the renovations in the Sports and Activity Center. This photo, similar to his, is of the Simone Arena, which we enhanced over the last year or so, as well as the Rick Kilp Center, which used to be our pool and is now a multi-purpose turf area, and the creation of the Mark Olson Indoor Golf Center. So I say that because I encourage all of you, if you have not been over the last year or so, to come check out those renovations. We're excited about them. Also, come check us out. A lot of you know this too, but I thought it was worth noting, especially coming out of COVID. We do offer discounted faculty and staff memberships to work out in our facilities. So if you want to make a workout part of your day on campus, please do that. I'm not sure that that qualifies as part of that 2 hours a week. Maybe something we can negotiate. And then some good news. You don't have to wait long to cheer on the Rangers this year. We're already undefeated at home, 3-0. But this Friday, 2 days from now, a lot of our staff's in an event meeting right now, is the busiest day of the year for Parkside Athletics. So we will be hosting 5 events, women's soccer at 11, men's soccer at 1:30, volleyball at 11 and 7, and men's and women's cross country at 5, all this Friday. So please come cheer on the Rangers. Get that off to a good start this year. We're also hosting the first Friday in conjunction with the cross country meet as well, which I think is the first time we've had a first Friday out at our beautiful cross country course. So please come check that out. I was in a meeting with Dean Wallner recently, who's been here forever and knows everything. And I realized that he is unaware that we have a really awesome composite schedule on our website. So if you're ever wanting to know, when are the Rangers playing? How are they doing? They're on the road, they're at home, whatever that is. ParksideRangers.com/calendar. It is my go-to for keeping up with our teams, because I normally don't know as much as I should. Next slide. Some more timely news to share and highlight is yesterday that we were thrilled to announce a multi-year partnership with our friends from Jockey International. And I wanted to share, yes. Really, really awesome event over at the SAC. But I wanted to share some of the highlights of what that relationship entails. It's very comprehensive. It goes well beyond Parkside Athletics. So one of the highlights is the unveiling of the Jockey Sports Performance Center, which is now our renamed weight room on the first floor on the north side of the SAC. I don't know if Chancellor's more excited about her ability to use those scissors or the announcement, but an also awesome photo there. We will also be continuing our Parkside Player Pack, which provides our student athletes an amazing amount of co-branded Jockey and Parkside gear, which at our level is it's an amazing asset and blessing that we have that gear from Jockey. Intentional and strengthened collaboration with the amazing team in career services. I think they left. Promoting internships and career opportunities at Jockey, as well as highlighted by the opening of the Jockey Career Closet, which will be branded in the coming weeks in the newly renovated, obviously, Callahan Student Success and Learning Commons. And then continued support and participation in a lot of Jockey community engagement activities. So the Undie Run, which they host at Pets on October 8th, we'll be supporting that event and in support of their community engagement, as well as Sharonda had it on her slide, the Lincoln Middle School Mentorship Program that Jockey is really helping to enhance and grow in conjunction with a number of other community partners. So I check more of that out on our website, the university website, as well as a lot of great media coverage from the last 24 hours or so. So thank you so much. I am going to turn it back over to our MC, Vice Chancellor Jude. Thank you.
Andrew put a lot of pressure on me because I'm trying this new habit of not writing stuff down. And I promise I have it electronically, but then this paper showed up. That's just... All right, we'll go to the first slide. We will be very brief since I've been up here quite often. I think we all can agree that education, as educators, education is an equalizer. And as the University Department of Advancement and University Relations, Development, Alumni, our Alumni Association, PEAG, the Foundation Board, our Campaign Steering Committee, our job is to provide resources for our students, for our scholars. Our job is to foster a culture of philanthropy, build meaningful and sustainable relationships, right? Long-term relationships with our stakeholders, both internal and external, but then also generate influence, which I mentioned earlier, generate influence and affinity for UW Parkside. So this slide we just wanted to share with you because we're in the silent phase of a comprehensive campaign. It is our first, but definitely not our last. And it was a record year last year. We raised $5.3 million last year for student success. So it's not only about the dollar amount, right? It's about, we had a record in number of alumni donors. We had a record with Parkside Day. We had a record with individual donors. We had a record with pure engagement. And it shows that timing is everything and the time is now, right? You heard all of the amazing things that are happening with our colleagues from our vice chancellors. So it's our job to share that story with as many people as we can. So we're working hard to be not only great storytellers, to elevate your stories, but to actually ask, right? Everyone supports a winner. And we're not hiding anymore. We're tired of being a hidden gem. We are here, we're doing amazing work, and we're going to ask to support all of the efforts that you're having. So with regards to the campaign, it supports scholarships, high impact practices, faculty and staff recruitment, and also dynamic learning environments, which are our facilities. One last thing that I would like to state is we had some exciting news shared by Hannah Wallish, our Director of Development. As we look at our support, what is our role? This is something that we've asked ourselves in our retreat. What is our role as an advancement team to really support the mission of the institution? And we all agreed on scholarships. We all agreed on student success. So this past year, we've supported 382 scholars privately with almost $750,000, and I think that has a round of applause as well. And so if you couple that with the previous year, it's closer to 800 students and $1.3 million in private support. So imagine if that number was 2 million. Imagine if that number was 3 million. Imagine that was 1,000, 2,000 students. That's the hope that gets me up every day to be able to truly make an impact so we can reduce all of the barriers and the gaps so our students can come in and really learn and become principled thinkers. So with that, I say thank you. I thank the advancement team. Could you stand up really fast? Anyone in advancement, university relations, marketing, communications, development, alumni affairs. If you're here for PEAG, if you're representing PEAG, please stand up. Alumni Association, Foundation Board. Thank you for your work, and we are excited about the work that you're doing and what we're going to do. And finally, thank you to the faculty and staff. 115 members of our faculty and staff gave back to the school. When investors are asking us, do you really care? We just show them the numbers. We care, and we're going to continue to get better. So thank you again. And so next, I would like to bring to the stage and introduce Dr. Amber Handy and Ms. Trina Patterson to talk about a few things. And Dr. Handy, I'm not going to mess up your title because it's another long one like Sharonda Glass, but I will reduce myself.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm keeping it old school, Willie. I got the paper in hand also. All right. So good morning. I am excited to be here with you to share a little bit about the justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion work that has been taking place here on our campus over the past year. So Amber and I will be giving you a high-level overview of what's going on in the JEDI space and provide an introductory look at what's to come and how you can get involved. So with this JEDI initiative, what I would prefer to call Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Commitment, I'd like to let you know that we are working to embed JEDI into every area of our campus. From the classroom to the offices and units and departments in which we work, we want it to become a natural part of who we are as a campus. We want to make sure that Parkside is a more inclusive and equitable place for our entire campus community, students, faculty, and staff alike, and so that everyone who spends time on our campus, physically or virtually, feels a sense of belonging, and we want to celebrate how diversity actually enriches the learning environment for all of us. So in order to do that, we thought it was important that we began by creating common language, so that when we talk about justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, we are all speaking the same language. I'd like to begin by telling you about the cards that have been placed on the table before you. These cards actually contain our contain our new Jedi definitions and aspirations. On one side, you'll see justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion definitions, and then we have the aspirational goals as well. And this is the baseline for the next phase of our JEDI work that will take place on our campus. Now, these definitions and aspirations, you may ask, who came up with this? How did this happen? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because you, our campus community, you were involved in making these definitions and these aspirations. For those who were here last semester, you may recall that Deanne Purcell, Amber, and I hosted a series of virtual and in-person listening sessions so that we could learn more about how our students, faculty, and staff felt about the current Jedi state on our campus and what we aspire to become as an institution in serving our students. So after many revisions, because you all provided such great input and suggestions, after many revisions and helpful input from our EDI Council, our Student EDI Council, and the Cabinet, we arrived at the document that you see before you. In addition to these printed documents you have on your table, you will begin to see more Jedi aspirational goals and definitions on signage across the campus, digitally, and on the website. And if you have not visited Wiley Main Place in the last 24 hours, please stop by after Convocation so that you can see our banners hanging prominently in that space. We want you to take these cards, place them somewhere where you'll be reminded daily of the work that is ahead of us. Take them to the tables when you're having your department meetings and your unit meetings, and talk about how you can support the goals of becoming a more inclusive and equitable university. We're grateful for the contributions of everyone who helped to shape these definitions and aspirations. Thank you so much for your work. And before I turn it over to Amber to give you more details, I'd like to take a quick moment just to give a special thanks to Omar for his design work on the Jedi marketing materials. And also, I want to recognize our EDI council members and our EDI liaisons who have been instrumental to the work that has taken place so far and that will continue to carry this momentum forward. So if you are a member of the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Council or serve as an EDI liaison, will you please stand so that you can be recognized and our colleagues will know who you are? Thank you. And Deanne, thank you also for being very instrumental in this entire process. And a heartfelt thank you to the Cabinet for your unwavering support in the work that we are doing. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Amber.
See, I went old school too, but my font is tiny, and I'm realizing I need glasses. So I'm going to go with the larger font one. So thank you, Trina, for handing that over, and thank you all of you for being here today. Now that Trina's shared a little bit about the work that's been done already, I want to talk to you about the work that is currently underway and what is coming up in the months and years to come. While you're learning about what's going on campus, I hope that you look for places where the wider Campus Jedi initiative intersects with your own work in your department and unit, and consider ways that you might be able to get involved. Creating a positive change for inclusivity and belongingness on our campus is a complex, multifaceted project. We need a plan to guide our work, so we turned to the ASAP 25 plan and looked for where Jedi goals intersected with the other 4 priorities that are in that ASAP plan. And we used that to help shape a Jedi strategic plan for the next several years. To ensure that that process was informed by a variety of experiences, last spring we gathered together some working groups made up of students, faculty, and staff from across the university to help us identify barriers and success goals for our work in conjunction with ASAP 25. We're very grateful to the participants and to their many contributions and insights. Over the summer, Deanne Purcell, Trina, and I combined and refined those lists of barriers and goals, and we are currently in the process of generating measurable outcomes and timelines for that plan. Many of those initiatives will overlap with work that is already underway, thank goodness, while others will spark new opportunities for change and growth. We invite you as members of the Parkside community to weigh in and help us determine which future tactical priorities we will engage with through a website that will be coming out later this year. We need your input to ensure that our priorities accurately reflect your needs, not just the needs of those who are actively working on the plan every day. And we look forward to hearing from you through the future survey and through any comments you may want to relay directly to any member of the team working on this project. As part of this work, we are in the process of creating a new JEDI website, which will feature not only our new campus definitions and aspirational goals, but also serve as a sharing point for campus climate survey data, the current JEDI plans and initiatives, and sharing out the outcomes of our work. Transparency is vital to the success of this program, and we intend to be honest with you about both our successes and the parts that don't go as planned. We're not going to hide anything from you because that won't get us to where we need to be. We will share that URL with you once that's up and running. And that's not the only program that is currently underway. Under the leadership of Jessica Cole, there is a group working to ensure that chosen names and pronouns are accurately reflected and shared across our campus software so that students and employees are consistently addressed in alignment with their gender identities. Absolutely. Another group, led by Kayla Bingen and Amanda Marquardt, are working to publicize our existing resources for DACA, Dreamer, and undocumented students so that we can grow further opportunities to support those important members of our campus community. All of these groups are breaking down traditional silos across our campus, bringing together folks from every part of the university, which is helping us to find those new solutions through diverse leadership. Briefly now, I want also to address some new opportunities that will be coming to you this year. The first is a program called So Let's Talk, which is run through the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in partnership with the Center for Excellence in Inclusive Teaching and Learning. Trina and I recognize that departmental units and teams across campus are at various stages in their JEDI journeys and have different needs based on their work and goals. Therefore, Trina and I have created a mechanism for you to request facilitated conversations or training sessions on issues related to what diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice help you need. If you're interested in having a So Let's Talk session tailored to your department's needs, please visit the EDI website, the URL is on the screen, and schedule a time that will work for you. We have also created and will soon launch a multi-faith religious and spiritual observance calendar on the university's website. This calendar lists the names and dates of significant religious and spiritual observances for multiple traditions on a 3-year rolling calendar. It provides brief explanations of the significance of each holiday and an explanation of what accommodations may be needed to support students or employees who follow that tradition. We hope that this will be useful to you in planning your syllabi, your event calendars, and other programming around important religious and spiritual observances, and also serve as a resource when a student or employee approaches you to request accommodation for their religious or spiritual needs. Finally, please keep an eye out for announcements about various workshops, brown bags, learning communities, and other events to help learn more about the diversity of our Parkside community and how we can help to create a welcoming environment here so that all of us feel that we truly belong at Parkside. I'd like especially now to mention the National Science Foundation-sponsored Inclusive STEM Learning Community here, which will begin on September 30th. This is an 8-week course that is focused specifically on creating an inclusive learning environment in STEM classrooms. Further details on that are in your inbox probably right now, actually, if my timing worked out right. I've shared a lot of information with you in a very short time, and I know that we are the last group before the main event, so your brains are probably overloaded completely. So therefore, Trina and I would like to welcome anyone who wants to learn more about current JEDI initiatives or broader things or the places that we've missed that you just can't understand why we didn't see. Please join us tomorrow to speak with us about anything related to JEDI. Along with that, you will see near the door where you came in on those 2 tables, these yellow forms offering details about that session with Trina and I, as well as a host of other professional development opportunities that are optional, no stress, over the next few days. Thank you for your time, and it is now my pleasure to welcome back to the stage the Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Parkside, Dr. Debbie Ford.
We're almost there, folks. So it is so nice to be with all of you and with our colleagues on our live stream. Today marks the beginning of our 54th year as a university focused on transforming lives. You all know how much I appreciate and think about the history of our university and our founding. So I have to quote Chancellor Irv Wiley when he said, and I quote, "The University of Wisconsin-Parkside has been and will continue to be the place where ideas are born, challenged, and changed, and a learning community that enriches minds, changes lives, and brightens futures." This photo takes us back to the beginning when our campus was being built. Another quote by Chancellor Wiley holds true today as it did a half century ago. "The society that builds a new university assesses the future optimistically. It bets that the future will be better than the past and that the university will help to make it better," end quote. The University of Wisconsin and UW-Parkside were founded to search for truth. As the famous Wisconsin idea so proudly states, the University of Wisconsin should ever encourage that continual and fearless sifting and winnowing by which alone truth can be found, end quote. Our university remains a marketplace of ideas and a place where all perspectives can be heard. Yes, indeed, the University of Wisconsin-Parkside continues to make the society, the communities we serve, and the students we have the privilege to educate even better. I have a request. Take a few minutes as we begin this 54th year to reflect on why you selected UW-Parkside to be your learning community. Yes, indeed, we are all learners in this outstanding community. Words cannot express how much I appreciate all you do for our students to deliver our mission. We have certainly faced incredible challenges over the past few years in all aspects of our lives, but you continue to persevere and show your resilience. Thank you for making UW-Parkside a learning community, a wonderful place to learn, a wonderful place to work, grow, and contribute. As we begin this 2022-23 academic year, we find ourselves at the midpoint of our strategic framework 2025 and halfway towards our bold goal of increasing graduates by 50%. The success that you have heard about this morning from our colleagues is directly attributed to each of you. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to academic excellence and student success, and I think that deserves another round of applause. I am so proud of the progress we continue to make here at UW-Parkside, and there is nothing we cannot accomplish when we put our minds and our hearts together. This morning, the Chancellor's Cabinet and Trina and Amber have provided valuable reflections into what has happened since our 2019 convocation, and they've shared insights into what is on the horizon. Remember, this is just a sampling of outcomes and initiatives, and we will share other updates at leadership assemblies this fall. We have so much to be proud of here at our university, but we do face significant headwinds. You've heard a little bit about some of these. The challenges related to enrollment, finances, civil discourse, and justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion remain top of mind and a focus all of us must join to address. As Rob and Gary shared, the student success strategies that we have deployed over the past several years are yielding results, and we are graduating the largest classes in our history. But we are not replacing the graduates with new students at the same rate. But we will continue to develop new strategies to increase enrollment and retention. We will continue to address the declining college going rate across our region. We will focus on eliminating equity gaps, and we will provide pathways to UW-Parkside for adults with some college and no degree. At UW-Parkside, as you have heard and you know, we celebrate having the most diverse student body and most diverse workforce of the UW system. But there's more. Our aspiration, as has been shared this morning from our JEDI commitment, is to become the most inclusive and equitable university and continue to provide a learning community and environment where diverse perspectives are encouraged and welcome. I'll tell you that enhancing our learning environment so more of our students, especially those most underrepresented, to achieve their dreams of earning a university degree remain a moral imperative for me. Another challenge that we face, and one that is all too familiar across the decades at Parkside, is stabilizing our fiscal position. The tuition freezes of a decade, the lingering impacts of the pandemic, and fluctuating enrollment continue to impact our bottom line. But the $61 million that Scott talked about in capital improvements, the grants that we have received from UW system that were mentioned, the grants we received from the state of Wisconsin, and the federal resources that have been given to our institution, and of course, the increasing investments from donors and alumni all make our learning environment stronger and better. Folks believe and are investing, and we will continue to monitor our fiscal position, diversify our revenue, and prioritize providing competitive compensation. Colleagues, we are on an important and successful journey. And yes, we will encounter the headwinds along the way. But I know of no better team of faculty and staff who can rise up to meet these challenges and deliver the mission of UW-Parkside. These guiding principles, adopted by the Cabinet in 2018 and modified in 2020 and 2022, will steer us as we transform lives through education. I'm so proud to be on this journey with you. So I'd like to close with a few reflections. Malcolm X once said, and I quote, "Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today," end quote. Our students, PK-12 students across our region, and adult learners are counting on us. If not us, who? If not now, when? The past years have limited the times we have had to be together and to build relationships. So let's make this the year of relationships. Relationships with colleagues, with our students, with alumni, and with the communities we serve. Relationships take time, take patience, and require us to be present. Remember what Maya Angelou said, and this is one of my favorite quotes. She said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. They will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you've made them feel." The University of Wisconsin-Parkside was founded on relationships, and it gets stronger each day and year because of the relationships that are formed, nurtured, and celebrate. It is an honor to be a part of the UW-Parkside learning community, and I look forward to this year ahead and to building even stronger relationships with each of you and with our learning community here at UW-Parkside. Thank you so much. And our last slide is a list of a few upcoming events along with some information at your table. So join me in giving a big round of applause for you and all of the folks who made today's convocation possible. Let's make it another great year for UW-Parkside. Go Rangers!